What's up guys, CyberHoudini here and welcome to your daily dose of gaming. It is the 1st of April, it's April Fool's Day. That means that the whole internet is full of crap jokes, really bad memes, horrible takes, the usual stuff. Big corporations trying to make it funny and it falls flat on their face. They should call this April Cringe Day because it is ridiculous. But over the years we've had some really good, well put together like fake trailers and things like that. Those I'm okay with, or like little games that the developers will come out with. I like that kind of stuff. Hell yeah. That's the kind of April Fools I want that ends up turned into its own game. How's it going, Soul? Check this Narita trailer. Oh, nice. Should Narita, how it should look? Oh, like in real life, is it? How is it going, dude? Let me have a look. Is it a fan-made trailer? The link won't work, but post the address of it. If that makes any sense. Naughty boy. Did you go back for a second run yet? So Narita Boy was a Kickstarted game, right? Did you end up doing Kickstarter with it? I am Jesus Christ. Oh, it's the real trailer from 2017? This is the final trailer. Is that what it's called? Narita Boy final trailer? Do you think it changed a lot? Yeah, it seems like it was Kickstarted for a long time and it took them that long to bring it out. They must have had a lot of funding issues or something. But it was definitely worth the wait. The game doesn't contain it all, but that's cool. Maybe they'll keep it for some, what you call it, DLC or something, you know. There's the floppy board. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, there is a lot that's different for sure. A lot of effects that are missing. You can tell it's just a concept trailer. It's beautiful though. It looks like he's transforming into a little animal there. Maybe I can do that later. See, some of this might be spoiler for me. I don't know. It's all good. Magic. Ooh. God damn. Yeah, it looks like you can parry as well. In this trailer. That is beautiful. Oh, there's the dragon fight. Yeah, it looks very different there. Holy crap. That's all good. Sometimes things don't quite come together the way you hoped. It's clear that it's been a labor of love, you know. It's been a tough development. I didn't finish it yet. No. I only play it on stream. Anyway, so let's get into some of these crazy little trailers and news from around the internet today. Oh yes. We're gonna start off with Remedy. Remedy created a cool little control game with PS1 graphics. I thought it was super cool. Look at that. Let me see how much is actually captured. Not saying. Yeah, it's all good. No worries. I like things like this. I wish we could play like Control 1996. The music for this trailer is bitchin' as well. I love it. Reminds me of like old Tony Hawk's or something. But I do see a lot of these kind of, as they call them, D-makes. I see a lot of them turning up lately. Where they've got like PS1 graphics like Anodyne and games like that. It's pretty big now. Control was a very, very fun game. I feel like it didn't quite hit the potential of, you know, like they were hoping for. Just in story-wise, I feel like. I would have maybe left it on the floor a little bit. Speaking of Remedy and Control, there is a rumor. This one's outside of like what's it called? April Fools and all that. Dynamite, thank you for that, host. But they've been saying that they are working on. It looks like they're working on Alan Wake 2. It really does. They're teaming up with Epic so they can get that little bit of a financial boost. And they're working on a AAA multi-platform game, but they also said they were working on a smaller scale project as well. And one of them, Jeff Grubb, who is kind of, I wouldn't call him an insider or anything, but he just kind of talks about his, you know, what he knows, what he thinks is happening. And he's basically said that one of those projects is Alan Wake 2, which is great. It makes a lot of sense, you know. It's definitely a cult hit that a lot of people want, you know. And I would fully expect Alan Wake 2 to be, you know, fully multi-platform. It'll be on everything. I'd say they'll even put the first one, maybe Xbox has that one. I don't know, who knows. That's really good news. It's probably something we won't see for another couple of years, but good news for Alan Wake fans. Hell yes! Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Dynamite. Here's our next little piece of news. Xbox finally came out with their own VR headset. Incredible stuff. Look at this thing. My god, it's a whole fucking head refrigerator. That's not real. That's not real, I swear to god. Looks like one of those old machines you had in the arcade back in the day. The light gun machines. I hope you're all doing well. This is what I was talking about as well. The PUBG developers brought out this cool little almost like 8-bit. It's a PUBG game where you just fight chickens in it. And you know what? It actually looks more fun than normal PUBG. And there I said it. PUBG, out of all the Battle Royales, probably is one of the most boring ones. But it was the ones that kind of started it, you know. It's just there's so much downtime in Battle Royale games. Especially when you're watching it. Oh my god, it's different when you're playing. But when you're watching it and you have to watch them walk around looting for 45 minutes just to get one shot at it and start the whole thing again. But this looks cool. Knife chicken! Reminds me of like those old Commando games. And Cannon Fodder. Actually looks a little bit like Nuclear Throne as well. I'm not sure. I wonder if this is like playable in your browser. Flaming hot chicken wheels. Instead of PUBG, calling it PUBG. Jesus God. Jesus. I like that. I wonder is there what way you can, yeah, work with you guys. Yeah, it's a real thing. I wonder how you play it. I don't know. But I want to. I want to play it. There is this little game, it's like one of those Agario and all that. I think it's like Survivio or something. I see a lot of people playing that one as well. I never got into those games. What was the one with the fucking worms as well? That shit drove me off the wall. So random. YouTube had, before Minecraft came back, YouTube was a weird fucking place. People were doing like 4-hour live streams of opening Overwatch loot boxes and shit like that, and playing Agario and Wormio, whatever the fuck it was called. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It was a weird time. When I first started it, it was a weird time. I was still just doing playthroughs, because it was what I always wanted to do. But just watching the other people in the community, I'm like, oh my god, is this all we've got? Damn it! On to the next piece of little creepy news. Animal Crossing are bringing Zipper back. Dear God, anything but Zipper. This is like worse than any horror news I've ever heard. Not Zipper, not that creepy bastard. I wish they went full force with Zipper. I'd love to see someone murder him. He has a zipper on his back, but he never lets you touch it. So there is a guy inside that suit, but he was the biggest pain in everybody's ass last year. They kind of made him worse, you know. He wasn't so bad in the old games like New Leaf and Wild World and shit. But god damn it, he was a pain in the ass. That. All right, so here, this from last year. This is a really cool piece of news as well. Platinum Games, they showed off a trailer last year for this little fake game called Soul Cresta. It's a shump, as they're called, or a shoot 'em up, which is basically like one of those classic bullet hell games. But they've decided to, it looks like they're making it into an actual game now, which is super cool. Soul Cresta. And it looks awesome. Looks like it's straight out of the arcades. How's it going, Pyro? PUBG is not my favorite. Yeah, I never was a big fan of it. And it never got better with time. That's always a sign of being stuck on a crappy engine. They always will be an Arma 3 mod. You can say what you want about Warzone and Blackout and all of Call of Duty's stuff, but they've clearly gotten better as they went on. Look at this. I hope they do make this into a real game. Yeah, today is just a horrible day for gaming news. You're better off just to stay off the internet, because they're just... Yeah, look, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. Cool. There he is there, Kamiya himself. On to the next piece of news, which I wish was fake, but it is not fake at all, my friends. No, no, no. Sonic the Hedgehog is getting a chili dog flavored G Fuel. This is real. This is fucking real. Oh my god. Sonic Hedgehog. But this is a real thing. Dear God, there's a picture down here. Look at this. It's real. It's real to me. Because it looks like Sonic's already got peach rings flavored or something like that. But this Sonic is getting chili dog flavored. So they've taken a meme and made G Fuel is a crazy little company, you know. They've attached themselves to a lot of big names, and that big name streamer goes through controversy, and then they pull out faster than your dad did. Not fast enough, apparently. Good God. But yeah, Jesus, chili dog, that's disgusting. Like, I like chili dogs, but I hate any kind of yummy food that's been condensed like that. Makes you want to throw up in your shoe, and then give your shoes away to charity. Alright. Actually play PUBG with Bathtub. Oh yeah, Jesus, all Bathtub's doing well. My God, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. Good God. Yeah, any of you guys into G Fuel? I know you've been drinking some of that rat or whatever it's called, Dynamite. I didn't even know it existed, I'm not gonna lie. There's so many of these energy drink companies popping up because there's mad money to be made, you know, in the affiliation. You get into these big streamers, and it's pure bank. The same with the more, what's the other one? Sneak, which seems to be more, I don't know, they seem to be more aimed at the female streamers. I don't know why that is, I just noticed it. It doesn't matter, it's just a bunny on it, you know. But for some reason, I just see a lot more female streamers being sponsored by Sneak. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, definitely awesome to get sponsors and things like that, of course, you know. Hell yeah, I wish everybody the best with that kind of stuff. But I think this may be jumping the shark. I can't believe it's real. I can't believe it's real butter. Blah! I haven't heard from him since, yeah, since before the COVID started. But I think he's doing okay. Alright. Next, not too much big news today. It's mostly just, unfortunately, we have to deal with April Fools, and a lot of these developers won't announce real news today because of the idea of subversion, you know, where they think, is it real, is it not? So they rather just wait. So it ends up being one of those days where you're like, good God, there's going to be nothing to report on. But yeah, we'll find some stuff. We even got like Deathloop, the Arcane guys getting in on it. They're making their own cereal out of Deathloops. I still don't know what Deathloop is. It's kind of weird. It's like a FPS roguelike or something. But it's made by Arcane, who made Prey and the Dishonored games. They're a very, very capable developer. That is going to be a PS5 exclusive, I think. We'll see how it goes. I like the 70s vibe. It gives me definite like James Bond kind of thing going on. But beyond that, I just don't know what the gameplay and stuff is like, you know. It's wild. Wild. And in some shittier news, Discord has finally dropped the video and announced their partnership with Microsoft. It's right there, right there. It's happening. We thought it wouldn't happen, but here we are. Today we're talking about the partnership we are doing with Microsoft. Stay tuned for more info in the next few weeks. Oh man, that sucks. Do you want to watch the video? Let's watch the video. Oh, go, Jesus! People out here getting fucking rickrolled. I will never be rickrolled. Someone needs to kill that ginger bastard. Good God! Actually, he's on YouTube now, I think, doing his own little podcast and stuff. Good old rickroll. But speaking of like April Fools and all that kind of shit, this was an awesome trailer back in the day. This is like back when IGN was good, you know? Back when they were good. This is, what, 2008? So we're talking like fucking... It's probably even way before that, just when they uploaded on YouTube. But this was really cool. This was a fake Legend of Zelda movie trailer. Now, looking at it now, it looks like a bad J.R.R. Tolkien. But, I mean, you know, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Zeldas. But it was really cool for the time, you know? Because IGN, nowadays, they can't even rub their butts together and make anything come up. But back then, they had some actual integrity and quality.
Taking the harvest to Castletown Market.
And it was a funny time where, you know, video game movies were getting put through the ringer.
Speak to no one.
Yeah. So this is probably my favorite April Fools, you know. I don't know, I'll always remember it because it really took, you know, think about like 2007, 2008. You know, YouTube would have been still pretty new, a couple of years old. Same with Twitter. So, you know, the cancer of social media hadn't set in yet. So it was just crazy to see the whole internet blowing up over this. And yes, now looking at it, it looks like bad cosplay. But back then, that was decent, you know? Yeah, 08, like it wouldn't have been that long after we getting those Lord of the Rings games and things like that, so we were at an all-time high. I think Twilight Princess would have come out around that time as well.
Find me again.
Wasn't that 2008 or something like that? God, I love Twilight Princess so much. No, it's 06, so there you go. Yeah. Damn, it was even further than that. April Fool's is the worst, absolutely. It's so cringy. People still using Rick Rolling is cringy as fuck. There he is. The hero of time. Doesn't he look like Pippin or Merry or one of them? Shit, I would still love a Legend of Zelda movie, but you know, they'd be better off doing an anime at this point. Make it like the old TV show. This old cartoon of Legend of Zelda. I like good pranks and all, but now people say, yeah. Some of that CGI is not bad. And it's freaking IGN, you know? It would have been a pretty small animation company doing it for them. Ganondorf looks ridiculous, though. The Legend of Zelda. I've noticed a lot of you guys in chat either haven't played too many Nintendo stuff or none at all. So you don't have too much affiliation with Mario or Zelda. So whenever I bring up games and that, it's a lot of like, yeah, okay, I suppose. That's all good. You just, it's one of those things. You're either kind of part of it or you're not. You know, like it took me a long time to get into Nintendo. I was a Sega kid, so it's all good. It's never too late. Hopefully we'll get a Zelda 35th anniversary collection. I am down for that. Here's a cool little thing that popped up as well. With the success of like the Resident Evil remakes and even like things like Shenmue coming back and that, and no doubt that Dino Crisis will get a remake as well. We're seeing a lot of these older games back then, like Fear Effect, and this one here, this Mazurna, which I don't think I ever played, but they're trying to bring this back as well. Mazurna Falls, which was, you know, it had a script like Resident Evil, but it was very much completely inspired by Twin Peaks, you know? And Twin Peaks is one of those creepy, awesome, classic shows like from the 90s that no one really understood back then. You either got Twin Peaks or you hated it, but it became a cult hit. And slowly as things went on, more and more TV shows tried to copy it. And even to the point now they're bringing it back and they brought it back. And hell yes. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I like a good prank. But see, well, like, I don't know. We went into that age of the prank channels on YouTube. And that shit was the most cringy stuff I've ever seen. I don't know how people watch that. You find out it was a whole lot of 8 and 9 year olds. That was their demographic. Elgato, of course, can't help themselves. You know what would be the greatest April Fool jokes that Elgato could do? Putting a fucking sale on their items. Jesus Christ. But they've got in on the April Fool's jokes as well. They're doing the Keylight Air Mini just for your hands. So for all those channels that like to put their camera on their hands, I don't know why they do that. Especially the Fortniters and that. Why did they do that? Why did they have their camera on their keyboard? Big dirty bastard keyboard and a big filthy hands, and you're like, why do I want to see this? Do the kids really think that you're going to get a 1-for-1 experience? Is it to try and stop cheating? Who knows? But it is rank. But now you can have a Keylight Air Mini, so you can even see more dirt shining up on your keyboard. I love it. And they've also got the Cam Link. I heard actually the Cam Link's pretty good, but Jesus, Cam Link? Good God. You'd have to have all your USBs in a row like that. What else have they got? They've got the UV key light. Lovely jubbly. So if you want to grow some plants while blinding the shit out of yourself, actually shining UV light on yourself is probably not a good thing at all. Elgato, I probably would walk that one back. That's a bad take right there. That'll give you skin cancer. Good God. I love the way somebody photoshopped the plant in there, but didn't photoshop out the arms. So it just looks like the plant has these disembodied ghost arms. Creepy! Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't think I'd ever buy one of those products. I think the closest thing I'd ever get would be maybe one of the Stream Decks, but honest to God, it just seems, I don't know. My issue with it is not what they're creating, because I think it's pretty cool, especially their own little mics and that. You know, you would assume they know what their streamer demographic wants, you know, in terms of quality, but I feel like they have an awful monopoly on the situation. So paying $400 and $500 for a foldable green screen is ridiculous. But anyway, that's just me. I was speaking recently, onto the next piece of news, about Gravity Falls and how the Costume Quest show, you know, named after the game, obviously, is on Amazon. And it's a really good show, but it's kind of stuck on Amazon right now, but it's worth a watch. and it's created by the Gravity Falls animators. Gravity Falls was a cool little show, but it did get a video game, but it was stuck on the DS, and it's stuck there to this day. But he has talked, the creators of Gravity Falls has talked about wanting to do, you know, like a sequel to finish up the story, but do it in a video game, which I would love, you know. It could work either way. Like, the DS game actually itself is really cool. It's done like a turn-based combat, but it could work as any genres at all. Like, look at that beautiful art style. It could work as a point-and-click adventure. Groot Ancestor was half plant, half man. Yeah, somebody made sweet, sweet love to a sycamore tree. Oh! Sucky me tree! Sycamore tree. But yeah, I'd totally be down for that, you know? Sometimes you need that good old wholesome fun. And even, like, though it does adopt that newer style of animation, which it's almost too clean for my liking. It's what happened to, like, The Simpsons and Family Guy, and I didn't like it. You could immediately tell it went over to computer animation. And it loses a little bit of the magic along the way. I don't know. I can never explain it. It's the same with old movies versus new movies. They're chasing the 4K so much. You can see the nose hairs up Chris Pratt's fucking nose, you know. I'm like, I don't need to see this. Just shoot the goddamn fucking movie, please. Or you get, like, IMAX, or it's in fucking 4:3, where you can half see Batman's face. Like, I'm gonna watch this for 4 hours? Christ! You're, like, getting less and less of the movie, but the ticket cost is costing more and more. Movies are in such a state of disarray right now. It's crazy, you know. A lot of the theaters are going to die out. That's the sad part. But maybe it's something that needs to happen because these studios have become so bloated. You know, budgets of $400 million is nonsense. And then having things where you've got like 1/10 of a 4-hour movie is slow motion. Or on the Marvel side where the CGI is just progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Like the CGI in Black Panther, ridiculous. Watching two blobs fight each other, so silly. And I don't know what they were playing at. We need to go back to basics, back to practical effects and choreography, where things are really fucking impressive, you know. Even I love old like samurai movies and old kung fu movies, but I was never a fan of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon and all that. Once they get into the ropes and flying on branches and all that, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You can't suspend disbelief, you know. It's like, oh yeah, it's just fucking magic gravity. Anyway, on to the next piece of news. We got a little bit of news from Dying Light 2. I'm glad to see this, you know. They did talk to us recently. They had a cheeky little video where they were reading out mean tweets about people waiting on Dying Light 2. But basically they said that, you know, it's still this year, hopefully, you know, 2021. I wouldn't be surprised if it slipped anyway. These devs, you know, they mean well, but they don't know what's going on from day to day, you know. Now if something falls through, it's fucked. But just recently, they did a nice AMA, a nice little interview here. And there was some good news out of it, you know. Obviously, they want the best. It looks like they're having a lot of trouble in-house. They probably should clean out house, you know. That's what I say about a lot of things. Same with CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk. You know, when something fucks up that bad, you gotta clean house. Clean out those CEOs, clean them all out. But you can't because they're all on boards, you know. This is the issue about hierarchies in the workplace. They don't work. There's always the boss. There's always this guy. You know, it doesn't work. And creative directors, you know, these are the kind of guys who will sit down and make a game. You're like, I'm so excited. Then they'll play Red Dead Redemption 2 and they're like, I want this in the game and this in the game. And, you know, you should hear devs like have to listen to this stuff, you know. Imagine like putting a post-it on your screen that's like, add horse physics or something into a game. Something silly like that, you know. Now, it just changes your whole job, sets you back months. It changes the whole face of the game. So, yeah. I hope the best for them. I don't want it to become another Dead Island 2. This interview seemed really chill, which is great. You know, they talked about their engine, which I believe is called the C engine. Boop, 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 boop. Let me see. C engine. And they're talking about, multi-core processors and that. They've talked about, like, when it does launch, they're hoping to get 4K 60 on next gen, which is really nice. In terms of, like, graphics-wise, you know, it's alright, resolution and frame rate, but, you know, graphic fidelity is a completely different thing altogether. And, you know, even from that trailer, I can tell it doesn't look too much better than Dying Light 1. And I think I'm okay with that, you know, as long as they don't fuck up the parkour, because it's so smooth and it feels great in the first Dying Light. But if they get that wrong, if they break it, moving around engines or messing around with things, then they're going to end up ruining the game, you know. The beauty of Dying Light is actually in its simplicity, you know. It's parkour, it's melee, there's guns, but, you know, it's either, you know, don't use them at all, or they're super OP. So, yeah. But I like the idea of what they were doing. They had a more sense of urgency. Maybe people won't like that, but I mean, we all kind of, in Dying Light, when you're playing, you have these drops that come in, and you get them, and you bring them back to base. That's just a little side thing you can do. But you could easily have that happen again, but this time just, you know, re-up your vaccines and things like that. Maybe they're a little bit worried with the whole COVID going on, that they're going to be talking about a zombie virus. Like, developers, and especially the PR, they think about all that kind of stuff. We don't give a flying fuck, you know. It's not going to be the same disease. It's, you know, zombie apocalypse is just complete nonsense at the end of the day, you know. Well, I love it, but I know it's fairy tale stuff, you know. We can have fucking viruses and pandemics, but let's be honest, zombies, people come back from the dead, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's why we call them what ifs. What if scenarios. Yeah, so that's basically, it's just nice that they're keeping up appearances and talking about things, you know. Once they keep the conversation going, then we know they'll start up the big marketing spin. There's already been talks of a huge collector's edition for it as well that got leaked. So that's a really good sign, you know. They're starting up the machine. If I was to be a betting man, I'd say at E3, they'll have like almost like a relaunch of it, you know. Big gameplay slice, and finally a release date, boom, you know. Hell yeah. There's a nice little thing where they're talking about from Days Gone as well. So they're definitely looking at other zombie games, which is really cool. Days Gone is closer to something like World War Z. You've never had those kind of hordes in Dying Light. But I like how Dying Light does it, you know. The nighttime, like, they need to double down on that. The nighttime is where the fear is at, and I fucking love it. Those volatiles, and they look like they're mutated as well. I'll never forget the time in Dying Light 1 where I found one of the volatiles' nests during the day. Like, they usually just run off when the daytime comes. And I found one of their nests, and it was the creepiest thing ever. Oh, you have to play it, Dynamite. You have to. It's the best zombie game, bar none. It's like Spider-Man and zombies mixed together. Once you get that grappling hook, you're just flying around the map. So good. But yeah, once I found one of these nests, it was one of those weird uncanny valley moments with the AI. So I went in there, and you can still, you know, they're volatiles. The radar tells you that, so you're freaking the fuck out. These are big enemies, you know, creepy bastards. They're like Hulk. But their face like opens up and shit like Predator. It's creepy. But when I went in there, they were all just standing still, like fucking dormant, you know. And they were still shaking and grunting and it was like that moment in I Am Legend, where he went inside and saw them all huddled together, and I like the idea of that. I like the idea, even if it was just it's a silly like AI thing maybe, but the fact that they're spawned in, they still exist in the world. They're just waiting for nighttime to come is amazing. I love that. Love it. It's far from a perfect game, you know. It did actually take a couple of years before they got it running perfectly. Like, most people play it now, or, you know, over the last 3 or 4 years. You're like, oh, this is pretty cool. But that game's been out since 2015, you know. So, we're coming up on 6 years old. So, that'll tell you how weird it's been waiting for Dying Light 2. In one way, like, having that kind of rabid fan base, it's nice that people are excited for the sequel. But then you get to this point, same thing happened with Cyberpunk, where they become, rabid, absolutely rabid, to the point of, you know, threatening, like, where's this game? As if they owe us anything. So yeah, if they could double down on that, I'd be very happy. I hope that gameplay slice we did see still remains in some capacity, because I really like what was going on. I hope they didn't burn. I had heard stories that they started fresh and this is what's taking so long, but I hope not. I was just thinking, yeah, exactly. I Am Legend. That's why I love it. And they're smart like that as well, you know. So nighttime is something to be truly feared. After a while, you get strong enough to outrun them and fight them. But they jump on you. They leap on you. They make normal zombies look like puppy dogs. The volatiles are some of the coolest things. And that new trailer showed that they had mutated. Looks like they may get like giant fucking wings or back flap things. I don't know. It's cool. Hell yes. And even though it took place in Haran, it did have this like Eastern Bloc vibe to it. Even though Haran is closer to like Middle East, you know. I'm so down for it. Yeah, it's definitely not the prettiest game on the market, but back then it was a looker, you know. That was the same year that Witcher 3 came out, you know. It was a looker. So I'm excited for that. I'm on board. We'll see where that goes. And of course, you know, Dying Light really comes to life when you've got a crew. When you play a co-op. I played it solo. I played it a good few times solo. And then I recently got into a little crew playing it. And it's super fun. Hell yes. So Dying Light 2 is 4 times bigger than that of the original game. Here's the thing that worries me. The only thing, like, Dying Light had multiple areas. And you did have to load to them and fast travel to them. And it was okay. It's not that long or anything. But it was still very noticeable. But it was nice to get to each area. It was very big. But if, you know, some of the quests were in the other map, it was always a trek back. So if it's 4 times bigger, that's amazing. Let's hope it's not 4 times the load screens either. And 16 times the detail. You have to be so careful not to sound like Todd Howard these days. I swear to God. That poor bastard, he's never going to live that down. It's his own fault. He knew what was coming. He sold people a lie. And he sold it well. He was a snake oil merchant. But yeah, much more vertical is a good sign. Like, some of the maps are a lot different in Dying Light 1, you know. You've got this beautiful town with gorgeous architecture and some nice buildings to climb. But then the slums doesn't have as much to climb. It's very much like favelas, you know, like in Brazil and that, where you've got these shanties. Which, yeah, but it's really cool. I probably might play through the story. I've done it like 4 or 5 times now, but I might play through it before the game drops anyway, because it's just so much fun. Crane is the main character. He was played by Troy Baker again as well, but back then he wasn't that big a name, you know. Now you can't piss without hitting Troy Baker, unfortunately, poor guy. Alright, but yeah, good for them. I'm glad to see this kind of stuff. It might be, for anyone out there, might go, this is kind of a boring interview or whatever, but it just shows they're still talking. They went completely dark for years, you know. So once they keep talking, keep these interviews going, it's awesome news. It really are starting to ramp things up. There's that NVIDIA DLSS, which I have been raving and ranting about, but I still think it is the future. I think it's the future. DLSS will actually make ray tracing more possible, you know, because right now ray tracing is only in a handful of games, you know, maybe even a couple of dozen max, but every one of those need like a 3090 or this or that, you know. And or they're doing this artificial ray tracing, and that is a pure sign of developers wanting to buy into the buzzword, you know. If you're using artificial ray tracing, what is the fucking point? Because we've already have artificial reflections. Why the hell would you buy into ray tracing just to make it artificial? It's so silly. Just leave things the way they are. Because ray tracing takes up a lot of memory. Some say it is twice as much as the game itself. So you're almost going to 300% when you need that ray tracing, which is especially a game with a lot of reflections like Control, which is inside a fucking building, so everywhere you look is windows, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm not against these kind of things, you know. I know I've said it, I've spoke out against ray tracing, but it's not as if I want it to go away. I just think it's you know, a foolish place to put resources, but that's just me. But I still like when we have those moments, you know, like VR makes me sick, but you know, makes me motion sick, but it doesn't mean I don't want to see more games there and see where we can go, you know. At the end of the day, I love advancements in graphics and technology. It's super cool, you know. And this DLSS is another one of those that blows my mind, you know, that we're actually using machine learning and AI for something besides, you know, the odd little NPC walking into the fucking wall over and over again. So to have this deep learning, super sampling, basically AI itself creating the next scene, the next frame in the game is super cool, super cool. So we've had results of a game that is rendering in 720p, but with DLSS, it's upsampled to 4K, and it looks better than 4K rendered like natively. They've tried this in games like Neo 2, and it looks insane. It looks insane. So it's super, super impressive, and it looks like that they'll be messing around with that. This will allow developers to push the game's fidelity while not stressing out on resources, you know, because the way technology goes, things like the Series X and the PS5 will already reach a bottleneck within the first 5 years of development, you know. It's just the way it goes. So then you're kind of sitting pretty there for the next 3 to 4 years when they bring out the next console. This has always been the way. Technology moves so fast. But I believe there's I can't remember what it was called. Hello Soul, how's it going? When are we gonna get doors instead of windows? Exactly. We need windows and doors and floors. Then we'll get floors. What was the name of that thing? Let me see. I look it up. It's basically it's a whole study around the fact that, is it like Moore's Law? It might be Moore's Law. Yeah, I think it might be Moore. Yeah, you know, like Murphy's Law and that. Yeah, it's Moore's Law, where technology can only expand so much before, I think we're already hitting that, which is pretty cool. It's the observation the number of transistors in a dense integrated circuit doubles about every 2 years. But we've said that we're reaching the cap of this Moore's Law, which is really cool. So it's like the die chips, you know, silicones, GPUs, all that stuff won't get any bigger, you know, but they'll get more condensed. That's what they're doing. So that's where you see like the idea of, you know, all the GDDR stuff and that. It's cool to look at, you know, when they make their own silicones, how small they are. All that technology inside of it just blows my mind. We're talking about like fucking nano transistors maybe or something like that. Hello Cyber, nice shirt. Taikyo, how's it going, buddy? How the fuck you guys doing? I was actually going to play some Spider-Man today, but Outriders is out today on the Game Pass. So we're going to play some Outriders if you're down. On to the next little piece of news. We're almost finished here today for Maneater, believe it or not, is actually getting some new DLC, which is crazy. This is this Shark GTA game that I've been talking about. I played it. It was a lot of fun, you know. It's simple and cool. It's made by Tripwire, who made the Kiln Floor series. It's pretty cool. They gave it away for free, and now they have this awesome little Illuminati style DLC. It's pretty cool. The whole thing takes the piss out of the idea of like the Deadliest Catch and all these silly little shows, you know. So this one's no different. It takes the piss out of those ancient aliens and all that. But I had a lot of fun. It's a great game to kind of turn off your brain and just eat some people. It was nice to get it away for free because, you know, it's a little bit harder for that one to justify the full game price tag. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Nice that it's getting some DLC. This is a game, you know, you buy this game, you support this dev, you're definitely helping things like Kiln Floor 3 happen. And that's why I'd say they put it on the PS Plus as well. I'm starting to think like when a developer goes for PS Plus and they get to the position of doing, we're going to put our game on PS4 and PS5, I'd say that's a double check right there. Like Control did it, Maneater did it. I'd say that's a double check. That's 2 platforms you're making your game available, you know. But I don't think that's how it would work on Xbox. I'm not too sure. But it's a big thing, you know. Putting the PS5 version up for free on PS Plus, that's serious money that's not going in your pocket. Anyway, that quote, turn off your brain, eat some people. Who said that? Did I say that? Dang. Damn. We're so close to 200. Look at that. Look at that. Truth Quest. Truth Quest. And then a nice little bit of gaming news right at the end. Any Returnal fans out there? I'm talking about this new PS5 exclusive that's coming out at the end of April. It's from the House Marquee developers. They did a new little preview on it. It just looks better and better. It's House Marquee are known for their 2D kind of shoot 'em ups and isometric games like Alienation and Dead Nation. And Resogun was a launch game for the PS4. But this is their new game. It's the first time they've gone fully 3D. I love it. It gives me crazy like Evil Within vibes in terms of the story. Because it went like first person. But as you can tell with the combat, this is true to House Marquee. They do like a little bit of bullet hell. I think it is a roguelike as well. So when you die, you hold on to certain guns and power-ups probably. And then you start again. Get a little bit further. I like it. We know how popular roguelikes have gotten in the last couple of years. Hades being an absolutely breakout hit recently. I do like roguelikes to a point, but to me they feel like kind of short bursts, you know, like things like Dead Cells and yeah, it's just they are very nice. They're cool games, but I'm still more traditional. I like my stories, you know, and there's always that first, you know, 5 to 10 hours of a roguelike that you feel like you're not getting any progress done because, you know, you're not coming away with as much as you like. But, you know, if you can get that balance right where you feel like you're progressing, then hell yeah. That's just a nice little gift. But it's cool that they're doing some previews. I'll probably get that. I don't know. It's probably full price as well. It's a little bit tougher to pick up some of these PS5 games because they're 85 fucking euro over here, which is madness. But it's nice to get Oddworld Soulstorm for free. I'll play that. It's been a while since I've touched an Oddworld game, so that'll be fun. But yeah, that is today's daily dose of gaming. We made it through April 1st. Thank God. Thank God. There was a lot more cringy stuff I could have shown off, but I couldn't even press on the links. It hurt my soul to do it.